Today's date is January 20th, 2013. This is Brian Lang. Hi, Brian.
Hi.
Brian entered the office about a week ago with a history of Crohn's disease. True, Brian?
True.
Brian, you were having multiple health concerns or issues when you initially came into the office. Could you just share for the video kind of what your primary concerns or health complaints were?
My complaints were...
Go ahead. Go ahead.
My complaints were weight loss, nausea. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and I wanted to avoid the Remicade treatment they wanted to put me on, which was every 8 weeks for the rest of my life.
And what kind of symptoms were you having when you came in a week ago? What were your primary symptoms?
Bloody stool.
And for how long?
7 years.
7 years, and how much blood and are you saying that was with every bowel movement?
Every bowel movement.
Okay, and how much blood were you actually losing with every bowel movement to your best guess?
I would say 3 tablespoons.
Of blood every time you had a bowel movement?
It was a lot.
And how often were you having bowel movements?
Every day, every 2 days.
And how was your health overall?
Terrible. I was tired. I felt sick, like I was just getting over the flu, always. Always tired.
And you'd been to the medical doctor on more than one occasion over that 6-7 year period of time, and what were you told?
I was told that my initial visit, I had a colonoscopy, they said it was a stress-related issue, that the bleeding would stop if I was able to lower my stress. A couple years later, I had an upper end scope. Or before the upper end scope, they ran a bunch of tests. My doctor told me, get your affairs in order because your body is basically shutting down and we don't know why. And then they finally sent me to a specialist that did an upper end scope and found that I had Crohn's disease.
What brought you here then?
The fear of chemotherapy every 8 weeks for the rest of my life.
Okay. And you've been in treatment. We just completed our testing about a week ago, and we started on a gluten-free diet with some nutritional supplements.
Yes.
I believe it was Wednesday or Thursday of last week. I believe it was Wednesday. And today's Monday, so it hasn't even been a week yet, but what have you noticed?
I noticed that my energy is up. My nausea is completely gone. When I eat what I know that I'm supposed to eat, what you've set me on, there's no nausea at all.
And what about the bleeding?
Bleeding has stopped.
Stopped. And what did you notice? You mentioned you kind of got off track a little bit this weekend. Yeah, so go ahead and tell the audience what happened with the cheating thing.
I didn't want to throw my groceries away, so we had French toast. And we cheated, and I was sick. I was very sick. I felt terrible cramps, constipation, just no energy. I felt terrible. Today, I haven't veered at all, and just in the 15 hours that I've been awake, I feel fantastic.
You said your energy most noticeably has been way higher.
Definitely.
You also said you're sleeping better?
Yes.
How much better?
When I lay down, I fall asleep. I don't lay in bed for 3 hours before I get a couple hours. I mean, I feel fantastic. I sleep all night.
So when you're careful, based on our conversation last week, and you kind of stay on track, there's a noticeable change.
Definitely.
Okay. So if you had to rate your level of improvement even in 5 days, being very careful with what you're doing, I mean, what do you notice when you're really being careful? How much improvement do you notice? 0 to 100, 100 being perfect ideal, 0 no change at all.
I would say it's a 90.
So it's very significant.
Very significant.
Brian, is there anything else that you feel would be valuable to share on what you've observed over the last 4 or 5 days?
If you give your body what it needs, if you don't keep your body from letting it heal itself, it will.
Do I have your permission to share your story with any other doctors, students, patients,
Yes.
anywhere? Any restrictions on that?
No.
Thank you, Brian.
You're